Father Pablo Tiong OP, Vice Rector of the University of Santo Tomas, Reverend Father Romulo V. Rodriguez, OP JCD, the Regent of the College of Education, Professor Clotilde N. Arcangel, PhD, the Dean of the College of Education, to the Dean's Council members, namely Associate Professor Evelyn O. Ladines, Associate Professor Marichel P. Tropicales, and Assistant Professor Maria Susana R. Gualvez, to Associate Professor Sheila C. Vindolio, our College Secretary, Assistant Professor Joel L. Adamos, Chairperson for Teacher Education Programs, Ms. Emma Rui Vivar Yung, President of the College of Education Alumni Association, members of the faculty of the College of Education, fellow graduates, parents and friends, a pleasant morning to all. Looking a couple of years back, I would not have foreseen that I'd be standing here on this very platform and delivering this speech in front of everyone. Same is true for my venture through this program in the Royal, Pontifical, and Catholic University of the Philippines, the one and only University of Santo Tomas. As a child, being a teacher has never really crossed my mind. It is only at that point when I realized that being a fireman or a police officer weren't the most lucrative of all professions per se, that I have always aspired to become a lawyer. Growing up in front of all the books of my grandmother has made me see that being a lawyer was one of the most challenging and lucrative professions of all. It is only during my third year of high school that I bumped into the idea that I can become a teacher. Two of my high school teachers back then were the ones who inspired me to become one. My fourth year of high school was one of the most crucial turning points in my life, and I believe the rest of my fellow graduates would agree with me on that. Which program will I choose? Which career should I pursue? Those were the very questions that lingered in my mind at that point. And since I was so uncertain, I had no other choice but to take a chance. So then, I applied for the UST entrance test, and I put legal management as my first choice, because back then, I thought this was the best pre-law course I could ever take. I also put BS Chemistry as my third choice, since I was so hooked into chemistry, but I wasn't quite sure if I'd be willing to learn chemistry my entire life. And secondary education was my second choice. Because at the back of my mind, I knew that I had to have a backup plan had I not chosen to pursue law proper. And BSc was the best choice for that. So back then, I knew that I had a plan, and I stood for it. So at that point, I was really sure. I only took entrance exams in 2 universities, and I passed in both. But out of all the universities that I had chosen, why did I get into UST? I know my parents are very well aware of this, and most of you might be disappointed by my reason behind studying in UST. But the main reason why I'm here is because of its volleyball team. Bago po, diba? Back then, I have always dreamt of playing in the UAAB, and at that point in time, UST was at the top of the pack in terms of volleyball. Right then and there, I knew I'd like to be a part of the UST Tigers Fighters. Of course, it is also secondary that I acknowledge the fact that there is really prestige envelope in the quality of education of this institution. So there, as soon as the test results were out, I was very ecstatic to know that I passed. But at the back of my mind, I was still doubtful if this was the right choice for me. So then first day of classes came, and I met my first 2 professors, and right then and there, I knew that I did. These were language courses, and just by the mere excellent communication skills of my language professors, I knew that I could be just like them one day. Soon afterwards, our major courses came, and all the more did I think that I was on the right path. Our professors have brought us to the deepest realms of science, exploring its boundless boundaries and its vast discourse. In one of our courses, we were even taught the very long story of the cell. all the intricate processes involved in it, even up to the tiniest and most intricate detail that to some people never really meant anything. We even had professors who would just bring their markers with them and would discuss for the entire period, and all of us would just be marveled by their greatness and their superb mastery of their subject matter. Now, with an arsenal of professors of this caliber, who will ever think twice of enrolling their children in the UST College of Education? Indeed, it is a center of excellence. Every peso spent in enrolling in these courses were all well worth it. Everything that our professors have taught us are still crystal clear in our minds, and all those mind-bleeding examinations that would require us to study 15 to 25 chapters of a book were all very memorable ones as well. Challenges from, as our professional education courses came, it is then that we realized that being a teacher is not really a piece of cake. It showed us the realities of being a teacher, how technical and how skill-based it was. Having professors that are recognized all throughout the country, all the more made us realize and feel that excellence was always a requirement in this profession. Then practicum year came, and to me, this is the point where destiny will spell its case on us. Are we really born to be teachers? Is this the path that we should take? Not only accompanied by major courses, but also by professional education courses. And to top that all, off-campus practicum, and our very resilient supervising teachers that have honed us, the teachers that we are right now. I know everyone have been really exhausted during the times that we had to struggle completing all the requirements and all. But look at where we are now. We are at the brink of triumph, and it's just a couple of microns away. Not only do we have to teach impeccably well, we also have to deal with our colleagues, our co-teachers. And I find it rather odd and amazing at the same time that despite being an irregular student, I managed to really get along really well with all these people, my co-teachers, the science majors. Alongside all of these experiences, I was also once an athlete. I played for our university for a good 3 years, and during those times, I'd spend around 4 to 5 hours of my day at the UST gym, training strenuously, even during the summer. And training for this team wasn't really a piece of cake. It wasn't easy. Trainings were really strenuous. Our coaches can be harsh on us at times. But what kept me from quitting was primarily 2 reasons. Number one, it's the brotherhood that my teammates and I had formed. And secondly, the fact that I'd be helping my parents financially. And even though my passion for volleyball was mainly the cause of my delay, never a day did I regret it. Because this was a dream that I chose to chase. And at the end of the day, I still got to play the UAP. Now, with such an extensive experience in this college and through the university's teachings, we are now facing this point wherein we will be set free and venture life on our own. And even though we will be competing with all these people from different universities who will claim that they have the biggest and the brightest minds in the industry, we, the Mashing educators, have this certain quality that they will never, ever have. We have competent minds, coupled with compassionate and committed hearts, and I believe that is what sets us apart from everyone else. Take pride, fellow graduates, with all it is that is at our hands right now, and let us always remember Him that has given us all this glory and honor, the Lord our God. May we always remember to bring Him back all the glory. Through all these, even if I had been delayed 2 years behind, I'd like to ask Reverend Father Pablo Tiong, OP, to grant us the different degrees that we have all worked hard for. For most of us, 4 years. For some of us, 5, 6, or even 7 years of our stay in this university. And these are the Bachelor of Secondary Education in the various subjects, various majors, namely the Biological Science, religious education, English, mathematics, MAPE, and of course ABBSC. And also the Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in Special Education and Preschool Education. With this, good morning to everyone and God bless.